Battle gets heated between three Senate Republicans vying to replace Mitch McConnell as now Senate Majority Leader, with Republicans taking control back at the Senate. This is a more critical role than many know. This person can do everything from blocking amendments to controlling when every single piece of legislation hits the Senate floor and often determining whether votes even happen at all. Many prominent voices now in the MAGA universe, like Elon Musk and Tucker Carlson, making their choice loud and clear. They want Florida Senator Rick Scott rather than either of the more institutional contenders, South Dakota Senator John Thune and Texas Senator John Cornyn. Why? Because they believe Senator Scott will ensure, for example, that anyone the president-elect selects for his cabinet or judgeships will get no opposition from the Senate, no matter how extreme the candidate may be. But is this effort by the MAGA fringe to shame anyone who does not vote for Scott backfiring? Now, keep in mind, the Senate Majority Leader vote happens behind closed doors by secret ballot. Scott, the Florida Republican, has the public backing of 5 Senate Republicans thus far. But when it comes to the top right-wing provocateurs, he is the clear choice. Tucker Carlson posted on X Saturday, quote, Rick Scott of Florida is the only candidate who agrees with Donald Trump. Call your senator and demand a public endorsement of Rick Scott. But more than just elevating Scott, Carlson and other MAGA boosters are attacking Thune and Cornyn, trying to paint them as Mitch McConnell loyalists, sympathetic to the left. Carlson wrote 2 of the 3 candidates hate Trump and what he ran on. One of them, John Cornyn, is an angry liberal whose politics are indistinguishable from Liz Cheney's. And Elon Musk added that Thune is, quote, the top choice of Democrats. Today on Steve Bannon's radio show, far-right influencer Benny Johnson laced into both Thune and Cornyn.
John Thune is a direct continuation of McConnell's power. One senator told me this weekend that these senators, Thune and Cornyn, are pets. They're pets of McConnell. Call them a pet. Say they're on a leash. And they'll come when called, and McConnell walks them like a dog.
And then Bannon demanded his listeners work the phones.
It is unacceptable to have come this far in this journey and for you folks to do as much work, as much sacrifice to support one of the most important individuals in the history of this republic, President Trump, to have someone like a Mitch McConnell trying to block it after he's thrown out. You must light these people up. Look at the list. I want you to be burning mad.
But it seems the phone calls may not be having the intended effect. And so the question is, could it actually be hurting Scott's candidacy? A top aide to one undecided senator told The Hill that the senator, quote, could not be more turned off by the tactics. An unnamed Republican senator told Axios, quote, it is definitely backfiring on Rick Scott at this point. I won't vote for him for anything, ever. Is that really true? If it becomes clear that Donald Trump wants Senator Scott, would the Senate actually buck him? Well, let's ask the former Republican senator from Massachusetts, Scott Brown. He's also a former U.S. ambassador appointed by Donald Trump. Good to see you again, Scott. Thank you. So what do you think? Is it possible that this is backfiring on Senator Scott?
Well, it's certainly never a dull moment for sure. I mean, the president-elect has the right to appoint, and the Senate is going to do their due diligence, hoping they keep an open mind and they will vet them and approve them. Listen, they worked for Mitch McConnell, both of the individuals that you were referring to, Thune and Cornyn, but now they don't. And like Rubio, you referenced earlier, they were going at it. J.D. Vance, before he became the vice president, had major differences, and Vance was not a fan. And now you have Cornyn and Thune who have said, yeah, listen, of course, we're going to approve the president's agenda. And they rightly should, now that they are able to be, quite frankly, independent. When you work for the majority leader and you're in his leadership, you have to support his decisions, but he's not there. The long arm of Mitch McConnell's not there. So they will have the ability to do their jobs and do it quite a bit differently.
But what do you make of the sort of provocateurs, you know, insulting and attacking Thune and Cornyn and basically saying everyone's got to go out and call and reach out and make sure you support Senator Scott? You think that could actually hurt Scott?
Yeah, I don't think it helps. These people have been representing the states, and they were all overwhelmingly reelected. They all are independent individuals. They're all great guys. I know every one of them. I speak to a couple of them pretty regularly. And that being said, you know, we need to come out of the gates and really not do what we did in 2016, and we need to be unified. I mean, the Democrats, if you remember, they stopped everything President Trump did. I was the lucky one. I got out of the Senate 94-4. But there are very few of us that actually got out and were able to do our job. So we need to be fully staffed, fully operational to push back against China and secure that border and do a whole host of other things that need to be done. And listen, they can say what they want because they played a pivotal role in the election process, Elon and obviously Tucker. Like them both very, very much. But let them do their jobs. It's something that they're going to do. They're going to figure it out. And right now, it looks like Thune's the one with the majority of the votes, and Cornyn's second. And Rick, I don't think it helps. I'm sorry. I'm just being honest.
Yeah. Real quick, Rubio, good choice for Secretary of State?
Now, listen, I know Marco. We used to work out in the gym every day and talk about football and his kids, and he's a great guy.
Is he strong?
He's very smart. He'll do a great job.
Does he pump a lot of iron?
Yeah, I'd pump more. I'd pump more iron, Dan. Come on, man. Really?
I wasn't asking for a comparison. Come on. That would be unfair. Scott Brown, good to see you. Thank you. Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find News Nation on your screen. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.